ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि। कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम्। आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्। दक्षिणे लक्ष्मणो यस्य वामे च जनकात्मजा पुरतो मारुतिर्यस्य तं वन्दे रघुनन्दनम्। We are in Lanka. Sita Devi is untying the knot of the corner of her garment because she's to give something to Hanumanji. And during that untying of the knot, she's narrated the story of Jayanta in the form of a crow, Sri Ramachandra's unparalleled sense of forgiveness, that he spared the life of a crow because he's very grateful to Indra for what Indra did for his ancestor, Sri Ramachandra's ancestor. At the same time, it's such an assurance that Ramachandra takes care of those who are his beloveds, which is all of us. And yet, even if we are a mega offender, by the grace of Sita Devi, if we surrender at the feet of Sri Ramachandra, then we heard the word or the phrase, Kripaya Paryapalayat, that he not only forgives us, but takes care of us, becomes our Lord of the heart, Kripaya. What an amazing personality to surrender to give our life to. And what an amazing personality Sita Devi, through whom we come to the lotus feet of Sri Ramachandra. And she's narrating all of this to Hanumanji. So the question is, what happened next? Now, before we go through what happened next, we'll set the stage for this conversation with this particular couple of verses from Sri Chaitanya-Charitamrita. This is from Adi Leela, chapter 1, right in the beginning, verses 20 and 21. Here, the writer, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, is setting the tone for any study of scripture needs to begin with the auspicious remembrance of and the auspicious worship of certain personalities. Therefore, it is called Mangala Acharana. Acharana means behavior or conduct. Mangala is auspicious. So, auspicious conduct when studying scripture is, he says, Granthera Arambhe Kari Mangala Charana Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan Tinera Smarana. One should remember before studying scripture these three personalities and see the order. He didn't say Bhagavan, Vaishnava, Guru, or Bhagavan, Guru, Vaishnava. Guru, Vaishnava, Bhagavan. Tinera Smarana. One should remember and take one's mind towards them, because without their mercy, how are we to do anything? How are we to understand anything? How are we to grasp and become realized? It's impossible on our own. So, Tinera Smarana. And then he says, what happens when we do so? Tinera Smarane Haya Vigna Vinashana. Anayase Haya Nija Vanchita Purana. So, two things happen. Vigna Vinashana. All obstacles that come on the path between us and knowing the everything about bhakti, about the personality of Godhead, all of his associates, we all have stumbling blocks or hurdles that are in our heart. So those are all vanquished. And Vanchita Purna Anayase. Ayasa means becoming tired. Anayasa means easily. Nija Vanchita Purana. One's heart's desires become fulfilled. So we should be careful what our heart's desires are. Our heart's desire, hopefully, are in the mood of or in the line of Anukulyena Krishna Anushilana. That we cultivate spiritual desires. So with this as the platform, remember, we will go back to Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan Tinera Smarana. Why is it? We're going to see in a few minutes. So in the Valmiki Ramayana, we left off right at chapter 38, that she has just finished speaking about Ramachandra forgiving the crow. Now, as she has finished narrating this, she's gone back into this swoon of love where she's talking, but instead of talking to Hanumanji, she's talking to Ramachandra as if he's right there in front of her. She says, "O Lord of the earth, Sri Ramachandra, I'm not able to grasp something. Just for my sake, you released a Brahmastra on a crow. Hmm? He didn't. What the crow did was, of course, he hurt me. He pecked on my chest, but at least he did not separate me from you. So just for the act of pecking at me, you released the Brahmastra. But Ravana has separated you and me for over 10 months. And I can't understand why you're still continuing to excuse him. I can't fathom. I can't fathom this. You're so loving to me. You are my actual master. But right now, I'm feeling like an orphan, anatha. So she uses the verse, Nathavati, Natha. Nathavati means I am the person who has a Natha over my head, a shelter, a master. Nathavati, Natha, oh my Lord. Anatha eva drishyate. I feel like, I look like an orphan. Because where is your shelter? Where is your love? Where is your action to come take me out of this horrible condition that I've been enduring for over 10 months? I know, I have seen, I have heard, and I've experienced that you're very kind. You're very righteous. You're valiant. You have great vigor in you. You're very mighty. Your fame, your capacity is boundless like an ocean. Yet you are very calm and grave, deep like an ocean as well. You are the Lord of the earth, with all the seas. You have power that's almost like Indra's. And you've shown me that when we extend compassion to somebody, it should be without any motive, not because tomorrow I'll get something out of it or that person. It should be motiveless. That's what makes a person's character so strong, and you are the embodiment of that character. Even though you're an expert at so many weapons, yet you're very truthful and strong, because having weapons without character is dangerous. That means they could release on anybody and everybody at whim. But you're not like that. You're very righteous, you're truthful. Yet you have not released any weapons on Ravana and his demons. Then she turns to Hanumanji and speaks to Hanuman. She says, if you look at the entire universe, and let's say all the personalities of the universe are on one side and Ramachandra is on the other side in a battle, whether they are residents of the Naga, whether they are Gandharvas, Asuras, Danavas, whether they are Maruts, none of them can stand the force of Ramachandra's arrows, and they can never recover to hit back. Does Rama have any anxiety about me? Because I'm wondering, if he does, why hasn't he acted? Why is he behaving so disciplined, and why is he thinking whatever he's doing? Why is it taking so much time? Why is he not putting an end to my sorrow? All he has to do is release an arrow. That's it. Okay, Ramachandra can be righteous and very principled, and so he may be like it. But what about Lakshmana? Why is Lakshmana not coming to my rescue? He can take the order from Ramachandra. Both Rama and Lakshmana are like tigers among men. Shardula, Nara Shardula. And they resemble the power of wind and fire. Even the demigods don't stand a chance in front of them. Yet, why are they disregarding me? Maybe, Hanuman, I have committed a very grave offense. Of that, there is no doubt. Because both of them are so capable, are so strong and powerful. Yet, if they are not stepping in, the only conclusion I can get is I've committed a grave offense, which in the storyline, she spoke very harshly to Lakshmana. So, as Vaidehi is crying piteously as she's speaking to Hanumanji, Hanuman had to say something to remedy the situation. So he says, oh, Devi, Ramachandra is not ignoring you. He understands you must be in serious misery. I promise you that Ramachandra is in deep sorrow, separated from you. Not only Ramachandra, even Lakshmana is constantly crying. We don't know where you are or where you were. I found you with great difficulty. But this is not the time to cry. This is the time to act. You should see, now that I have seen you, and I'm going to go back to Sri Ramachandra and Lakshmana and report this, you should consider that all of your sorrows have come to an end. Both Rama and Lakshmana are very eager to see you. In fact, they will make Lanka completely burnt down to ashes. Ravana and all of his cruel relatives are finished, are as good as finished. This city will become completely desolate. Everything will be burnt down, and Ramachandra will relieve you from this city and take you back. I will communicate this message to Rama and Lakshmana. So Sita Devi says, please convey this message to Rama, Lakshmana, and Sugriva and all the Vanaras who've gathered there. I will also do so, is what Hanumanji is saying. When Hanuman spoke like this, Sita Devi's grief started to become even more intense. The intensity is, if someone has waited for a very, I'm sure each one of us has this experience. Let's say something that is relatable to many of us. Let's say green card. When we apply for green card, it says so many number of years, right? And we say, okay, that's what it takes. That's what it takes. We wait. One stage gets cleared, another stage gets cleared. Then finally, on the website, it might say that your advance parole has been cleared. I'd forget the terminology. It's been a long while for me, but that final stage before you getting the green card in your mail. From that time, that short gap of time that is remaining before we can get our cards in our hand, we become the most restless and impatient. Because we waited so many years, but the last couple of weeks is extremely tormenting. And that's true for anything. The last mile is the hardest, as they say. So Sita Devi is also feeling that. And she goes into a rapture of prayers. Before we fully appreciate the rapture of prayers, let's see from where she's coming. The words she spoke to Lakshmana, the consequence has been that she has been separated from Sri Ramachandra. And she is recognized. And this is the lesson we take, that as the living being, the offenses that we commit, the offenses one commits to the Supreme Lord are not as not egregious as the offenses committed to a devotee. In the past, when Ramachandra did not allow Sita Devi to come to the forest, she told him, "What kind of a man are you? My father thought that you're a valiant hero, but he would be very disappointed to know that you're actually a woman, just in the form of a man, or you're not man enough." Oh. Jamatram Purusham Prapya. Striya Vigraha Purusham Prapya. You're just a woman. You're not man enough. That was a very sharp, almost offensive. But you see, nothing really happened from it. Ramachandra just tolerated it. And they continued to live together for almost 13 years. And then one harsh thing she says to Lakshmana, immediately she's separated from Ramachandra. How extremely risky and egregious it is to offend a devotee. So she's showing us, although that's not who she is, this is part of the Leela, the pastime that's unfolding to teach us how dangerous it is. And so she's recognized that I've committed this very grave danger, a very grave offense. And the remedy for the offense is what we're going to hear right now. The remedy is unabashed glorification of the very devotee that we offended. The Chaitanya Charitamrita verse was, I read it because he says, Granthera Arambe, at the beginning, one should glorify Guru, Vaishnava, and Bhagavan. For Vanchita Purana, Anayasa Vanchita, for all of one's desires to be fulfilled and all the obstacles to be removed. The obstacle here, although the verse there is specifically about reading scripture, the verse is valid for all other circumstances. The desire she has is to be reunited with Ramachandra. The hurdles are a massive ocean that has dangerous sharks and other predators. She's surrounded by Rakshasas. She's captured by Ravana and very secretly guarded. The living being is in many, many layers of matter, predominated by the mind, and constantly harassed by hundreds and hundreds of desires that are clashing. Those are the hurdles. And the only remedy, the only method to get out of that is Guru, Vaishnava, Bhagavan, Tinera Smarana. Smarana means to say, to glorify. We can only say when we remember. To keep them as the objects of our meditation, which is exactly what she is doing. So if you step back, the same principle, this is Sundarakanda. Sundarakanda is considered glorious because all three glorifications are here. We heard the glory of Hanumanji. He is playing the role of Guru because he's carried the Rama Nama Ankita. It's called mantra all the way from that side of the ocean where Ramachandra is to this side of the ocean where Sita Devi is. He's entered the material atmosphere, crossed the ocean of material existence, and come to a material atmosphere in Lanka, which is the human body, or likened to the human body, without the mind's knowing, has offered the holy name of Ramachandra. That action, Valmiki says, Dushkaram Nishpratidvandvam. Dushkaram, very difficult. Nishpratidvandvam, incomparable. No one else can ever accomplish something like that. And we heard in the beginning of Sundarakanda, the entire glorification of Hanumanji. That's the glorification of Guru. Sita Devi asked Hanumanji, can you tell me the symptoms or indicators that you've seen Ramachandra? And Hanuman went into verse after verse, speaking the glory of Sri Ramachandra. So Bhagavan has been covered. What about Vaishnava? That's what's coming up right now. And the very Vaishnava that was offended, although he didn't take any offense, Sita Devi considers that an offense. So she starts, first verse is about Sri Ramachandra. And that's what I sent you in our WhatsApp group. Later, I'll send you the verses. She speaks about Lakshmana as well. She says, oh, Hanumanji, when you go, and please give this message to, and she doesn't say Sri Ramachandra. She doesn't use the name Rama, but she refers to him. She says, Kausalya loka bhartaram sushuve yanmanasvini tam mamarthe sukham pracha shirasa abhivadaya shirasa cha abhivadaya. So she says, tam, that person, who's that person? Kausalya yan sushuve. That person who Kausalya gave birth to. Okay. What is extraordinary about this verse? There is. Rama is referred to as Loka Bhartaram. Bharta means the husband or the master or the lord. Loka Bhartaram. That person who is the lord, the master, and source of all the worlds took his source from Kausalya. So, what a great personality Kausalya is. That she gave birth to the one who gives birth to every living being, to every atom in existence. Janmadyasya yataha. So, what was the greatest of Kausalya? Manaswini. That Manaswini is that she has a very, very compassionate, loving, and magnanimous heart. Why should Ramachandra only be my son? He should be available for everybody. And she is the one who allowed it to happen, or she facilitated it to happen. Therefore, she is very great. That great person was born to that great personality, Kausanya. So, mamarthe, for my sake, sukham pracha. Let Ramachandra know I asked about his welfare. And how would you ask? Shirasa cha abhivadaya. Pracha cha, ask, and bow your head or bow down and offer your obeisances on my behalf. When we say to others, oh, please offer my obeisances on my behalf to such and such person. That's what she's saying. Another meaning is the living entity can only approach the Supreme Lord through his representative. Every day when we do arati, we cook and make offerings, we study, we serve, we say Sarvam Sri Ramarpanamastu, Sarvam Sri Krishnarpanamastu. But none of these activities is possible unless we see them as doing on behalf of one's gurus. So she's asking him, Sukham Pricha Shirasacha Abhivadaya. That's as far as Ramachandra is concerned. Now she moves to glorifying Lakshmana. Interesting thing is one verse for Ramachandra, multiple verses for Lakshmana. This is our philosophy. The Vaishnava philosophy is we may be a little miserly in glorifying the Lord, but there should be no miserliness in glorifying devotees. In fact, even if sometimes we don't glorify the Lord, it's not so hurtful, but we cannot not glorify the devotees. And what is Lakshmana's glories? Srajaha cha sarva ratnani priya ya cha varanganaha Aishwaryam cha vishalayam prithvyam apidurlabham. This Lakshmana has rejected everything for the sake of Ramachandra. Srajaha sarva ratnani. Great garlands and glorification. Why do we put a garland on someone? As glorification, as respect. He said, no, I don't want. Sarva ratnani, because he's a prince. All sorts of jewels and gem-studded articles of daily use. We use stainless steel and plastic. Lakshmana used to use cups, plates, bedsteads, sofas, everything studded with diamonds and rubies and emeralds and sapphires and made in gold. He said, Sarvaratnani, I don't want. Priya Varanganahacha, all exquisite women with excellent, beautiful limbs and very pleasing to look at. They would rush to serve him. He said, I don't want anybody. Aishwaryam cha, wealth, opulence. Nope, I don't want. Vishalayam prithvyam api. And kingdom as vast as the earth. Because as soon as Ramachandra is king, Lakshmana also enjoys that. He says, and api durlabham, so difficult to get that. He said, I don't want. Pitaram mataram chaiva sammanaya abhiprasadaya cha. Anupravrajito Ramam Sumitra Yena Supraja. Oh, that wonderful son that was given birth by Sumitra rejected everything and gave us the respect of mother and father. Pitaram Mataram Chaiva Sammanaya. He respected us. As much as he loved Dasharatha and Sumitra, he loved us perhaps even more. And Anupravrajito Rama, without thinking, without blinking, or even considering for a moment, just followed Ramachandra. Therefore, Supraja, what a wonderful son of Sumitra Devi he is. Anukulyena dharmatma tyaktva sukham anuttamam. Anuttamam sukham, the greatest of joys and pleasures, tyaktva. And dharmatma, very, very principled, knows the in and out, how to behave in every circumstance. And how does he behave? Anukulyena. Very, very amenable, very pleasing. In fact, he has no desires of his own. Anugacchati kakutstham bharataram palayan vane. The older brother is supposed to care for the younger brother. But Hanuman, in this case, Lakshmana cares for Ramachandra as if he's the father. Anugacchati kakutstham bhartaram palayam vane. He went to the forest. But don't consider that Lakshmana is some feeble, good for nothing that just went into the forest. Simhaskandaha mahabahu manasvi priyadarshanaha. Simhaskanda. His shoulders are powerful like that of a lion's. Mahabahu. He has such power that he is so strong with his arms. He can destroy anything. He doesn't need his arms. Just by his glance, he can destroy everything. Yet, Manasvi, very thoughtful. His mind is very steady when it comes to serving. Priyadarshana. So pleasing to look at. Anybody who looks at Lakshmana is just drawn to him. Pitravat vartate Rame. And he was behaving like Ramachandra's father. Or Pitravat, sorry. He saw Ramachandra as his father. Matravan Mam Samacharam. And me as his mother. Because Sumitra told him, Ramam Dasharatham Vidhi. Mam Vidhi Janakatmajaha. Ayodhyam Atavim Vidhi. Gachata Tayata Sukham. So he always considered me as his mother. So the question is, if you know he always saw you as his mother, what happened there? And the answer is not about Sita Devi, but as the living entity who, when pulled by the desire of enjoying, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that one's buddhi, one's memory, everything gets destroyed. Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsam Sangasteshu Upajayate. Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha. Kamat Krodho Vijayate. Krodad Bhavati Sammoha. Sammohad Sammohad something. Smriti Bhramsha. Smriti Bhramshad Buddhinashaha. Buddhinasha Pranashyati. Pranashyati, one gets separated from the Lord. That is the greatest fall down. Prabhupada also expresses in the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, last verse, 20th verse, he says there are two fall downs. And that's what happened. In the heart of heart, we know that the Guru, the Vaishnavas are embodiments of compassion and love and affection. But my desire is so strong that I don't see that. I forget it. My intelligence stops to work. Priyamanam tada veeraha natumam veda lakshmanaha vriddha upasevi lakshmivan shakto na bahubhashita. Oh, what a qualification of Lakshmana. Veera can stand and fight with anybody. But does he express that? Does he is he forceful about his Virya Lakshana? No. Priyamanam. Priyamanam, very, very pleasing, very affectionate. Hmm? And this loving Lakshmana did not know that I was being taken away by Ravana. He did not know. But what is his character? A great person who has so much strength and power, along with it comes arrogance. It's called Dambha. But Lakshmana is not like that. Priyamana, very pleasing. And how does he demonstrate his Vriddha Upasevi? He always serves his elders. Lakshmiman is an embodiment of great qualities. Shakto, although he is capable, na bahubhashita. He never speaks much. He only speaks what is necessary, as much as necessary. He doesn't interfere and just speak whatever. No. No bahubhashita. Very one of the qualities of a Vaishnava is mitabhashi, speaks less. Speaks only that which is meaningful and speaks only truth, not unnecessary stuff. Rajaputra Priya Sreshta Sadrishaha Swashurasya me. And he is a replica of Dasharath Maharaj because he's that great. Dasharath was one of the greatest kings. Sreshta, very, very supreme, very high level personality. And I'll tell you something else, Hanuman. Mattah priyataro niyatam bharata ramasya lakshmanaha niyukto dhuriyasyam tutam udvahati viryavan. This Lakshmana, Mattah priyataraha. So in Sanskrit, you have 3 degrees of comparison. Priyam, Priyatara, and Priyatama. Priyatama, the best. When the two people are being spoken about, it's always comparative. Mattah Priyatara Nityam Bharata. Lakshmana is always dearer to Ramachandra more than I am dear to him. If Rama is looking at Sita and Lakshmana, Lakshmana is dearer to him. And this Lakshmana, whatever work is given to him, he never complains. See, in the forest for 13 years, Lakshmana did all the cooking. Lakshmana carried all the baggage. Ramachandra and Lakshmana had no baggages. The only baggages they had, honestly, is their bows, arrows, swords, shields, and a instrument to dig and an instrument, a basket to collect the fruits and roots that they were going to carry. That was their luggage. Sita Devi's luggage, as ordered by Dasharath Maharaj, was all the silk clothes, all varieties that match the silk clothes, the jewelry, the ornaments, the cosmetics that are necessary for a princess for 14 years. That's what Lakshmana carried. So she says, he did everything. Whatever work was given to him, he never complained. He accomplished it perfectly. So when you meet Ramachandra and Lakshmana, remember that Ramachandra does not consider that his father is dead. Because when the father is no more, a person doesn't feel the same shelter. So for Lakshmana, yes, the father is gone. For Bharata and Shatrughna, the father is gone. But for Ramachandra, no, father is not gone. The reason being, Lakshmana is taking care of Ramachandra so well, he feels that sense of fatherly love from Lakshmana, the Vatsalyam coming from Sneha, from friendship. So when you go, please make sure that you ask Lakshmana about his well-being. Sa mama arthaya kushalam vachanam mama vaktavya. Please speak the words of on my behalf that I hope Lakshmana is doing well. And I'm very trustworthy. I trust you because mriduhu, you, Hanumanji, mriduhu, nityam shuchihi, dakshaha, priya, ramasya lakshmanaha, yata hi vanaras sreshta, dukkha kshaya karo bhavet. You are capable of removing all my misery because you are mridu, you're very gentle. Nityam shuchi, you're always pure. Dakshaha, you're expert. Priyo Ramasya Lakshmana, and you're very dear. You're a darling of Ramachandra and Lakshmana. Oh, Vanaras Sreshta, the best among the Vanaras. Yathahi, oh, if there's anyone who can relieve me of my distress, that is you. And the next verse are considered is considered a mantra, a very, very special mantra. Again, remember, it starts with the ta, is spoken about Hanumanji, spoken by Sita Devi, and it said that if anybody ever has any obstacle in anything they want to achieve, if they are afraid of it, this is a prayer to offer to Hanumanji to remove all obstacles. Of course, we offer such prayers only to remove obstacles in bhakti. But even otherwise, if someone wants to offer, she says, Tvam asmin karya niryoge pramana harisattama ragavastat ragavastat samarambhan mai yatna paro bhavet. You are the only person who can remove my distress by your actions. Tvam asmin karya niryoge. You're the only one who can fulfill any activity. Pramana, and that's the best pramana, the best indicator that you are the only capable one. Hari Sattama, the best of Hari is the Vanaras. And Ramachandra, depending on what you do, Ramachandra will also act for me. Because it is your desire. If you speak, it will move Ramachandra's heart for me. And then she gives the ultimatum. Jeevitam dharayishyami masam dasarathatmaja urdhvam masam na jeeveyam satyena aham bravimite. Oh Ramachandra, I'm speaking this truth to you. One more month, I will keep my life heirs together. After that, I will discard my life. You have 1 month's time. Please come, rescue me from this horrendous Ravana. Just the way Indra rescued Kaushiki. Actually, in this case, it is like Varahadev came and rescued Bhumi Devi from Hiranyaksha's clasp. Similarly, please take me away from this place. And at this time, she untied her garment and gave Hanumanji this wonderful jewel called Chudamani. Chuda is the bun of hair that women tie in the back of their head, and the jewel that's put on it. It's considered the prime jewel. So, tato vastra gatam muktva divyam chudamanim shubham pradeyo raghavaya iti sita hanumate dadau. Pradeyo raghavaya. To be given to Ramachandra, she gave to Hanuman this very auspicious Shubha Chudamani. Why is Chudamani called Shubha? Because that Chudamani is very auspicious for her for a hidden reason. The hidden reason is, she tells later, Ramachandra, as soon as he sees this Chudamani, he will remember me, he will remember Janaka, and he will remember my mother, Sunayana. What happened at the wedding is, from the mother's side, jewels that they have used are handed down to their daughter at the time of wedding. So Sunayana, this Janaka's wife, removed her Chudamani in the presence of Ramachandra and handed it to Dasharatha, handed it to Janaka. Sorry. Janaka very lovingly put it on Sita Devi's hair. And Ramchandra was there, so he remembers. It's a very auspicious moment of their wedding. Another reason it's considered auspicious is every morning when Ramachandra would wake up and he would open his eyes, Sita Devi would be there and offering obeisances to Ramachandra's lotus feet. And when he would look down, the first thing he would see is the Chudamani, because when she is offering obeisances, that's what he sees. So it reminds Ramachandra of Sita Devi, her chastity and love. Therefore, Shubham Manim. Hanumanji, because it is Sita Devi's Chudamani, Valmiki says he took it, this great hero, Hanumanji, took this Mani Ratnam, Anuttamam, Pratigrahya, Angulya Yojayamasa, and put it as a ring to his hand. Now, if you have noticed, when Ramachandra gave his ring to Hanuman, Valmiki doesn't say or indicate where Hanumanji kept that ring. Why? Because the ring represents mantra. Mantra is always gudha, it is hidden. Mantra is not spoken of like Gayatri. And even the mantra that is given at initiation, this mantra is kept gudha. So where, how the guru carries it is not for discussion, it's not for knowing. It is imperceptible, inconceivable as well. But when Sita Devi is giving the jewel, Valmiki says he wore it as a ring because he cannot wear it on his arm, because Hanuman's form is big at this point. He had come as a small cat size, but now he's much bigger, so it'll only fit as a ring. And the ring, wearing it as a ring is important. Ramachandra empowered Hanumanji to give Ramanama mantra to Sita Devi. As a jiva, when we receive the holy name from the Supreme Lord, we are behooved. It is our duty to express gratitude by giving Guru Dakshina. So this is Sita Devi's Guru Dakshina to Hanumanji that he wears as a ring, so it's visible for everybody. Beautiful. So much Vedic truth hidden and packed inside very simple meaning verses. And he offered his respects to Sita Devi. He circumambulated her, stood with folded arms or folded hands. And in his mind, he reached Ramachandra because he's going back there. Harshena Mahata Yukta Sita Darshanena Gyasaha Hridayena Gato Ramam Sharirena Tu Vistitaha. He was situated in his body in that place, but in his heart, he was with Ramachandra. This is the greatness of such personalities. Their heart is always with the Supreme Lord. And then he was ready for the return journey. Manivaram upagrihya tam maharham Janaka Ripatmajaya dhritam prabhavat Girivara pavan avadhuta muktaha Sukhita manaha pratisam kramam prapede. taking this very beautiful, best of the jewels that was worn by Sita. And this Hanuman, who was able to withstand the blast of Mount Mahendra when he was flying or jumping across, was so pleased that he got this jewel from Sita Devi. And now he was ready for his return journey back to where Ramachandra is. Wow, what a chapter. Let's see. Any questions, comments, thoughts, reflections? We have completed chapter 38. There are about 70 some chapters in Sundara Kanda. It's been over a year and we've just hit the halfway mark. An entire episode from when we started a year ago, or more than a year ago, December 17th of last year. More than a year of 22. We have been able to cover a few hours of what has happened in Lanka. All right, let's see if there are any comments, thoughts, questions. And I want to make sure I can hear you. Last week I had some difficulty. Can someone speak up so I know my headphones are... yes, I can hear you.
Hare
All right.
Krishna Prabhu. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Beautiful, especially the what you were deeply appreciating is Lakshman's just nature of utter giving himself, to Rama Sita. So I had a couple of questions. One is related to the offense that Sita has done towards Lakshman and the reaction to that offense. So it seems like we're hearing here that both her exile and her wait for Ram after Hanuman meets her are both reactions to her offense. And later we hear that the banishment of Sita is also a reaction to her offense towards Lakshman.
So the Valmiki Ramayana doesn't refer to that banishment as an offense. It is this episode that is concluded by the Agni Pariksha part that she takes on. So that's my limited understanding.
Okay, because I recently heard Maharaj speak about that.
I know, I heard too. And so I'm trying to find references for so that it's, if he speaks, it must be weighty and valid. So I'm trying to collect that for myself.
Got it. Okay. The other question I had is this morning I was reading some commentaries on 12th canto of the Bhagavatam, and I came across this interesting comment by Ramayana-Part who said that glorification of the eternal associates of the Lord is better than or greater than glorification of his great devotees. It got me scratching my head. And I wasn't so sure, I didn't, I want some commentary on that, basically. And if you had something to share.
If you don't mind, offline, send me that verse or purport link. I don't know how to answer that just right now.
Sure. Thank you.
I'm reminded of Srinivas Acharya's Shad Goswami Ashtaka as you're glorifying Lakshmana. Tyaktva Turnam Ashesha Mandalapati Shreni. The Shreni, the position and the glory of Mandalapati, they were all like kings, such royalty. Tyaktva Turnam. Immediately just rejected it. It's not that they rejected over time, thinking a lot about it, little by little. No, Tyaktva Turnam, very quickly. Okay, someone else? In our group, there's always this one iPhone, which I don't know who that is. I've requested that they write their name. I really appreciate if they could. On Zoom, it just says iPhone.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Pranam, Hello, Shishla Prabhu.
Hey, Shaligram Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, at the beginning of the lecture, you had mentioned that for Krishna Arpana, Ramarpana, when we are doing like that, it's only on, we can do that on behalf of the Guru. So I'm trying to understand that and request you to elaborate that a little more.
So go to quickly. I'll keep this short instead of long. In the Gurvashtaka prayers, verse number 3, Shri Vigraharadhana Nityanana Shringara Mandira Marjanado Yuktasya Bhaktamscha Niyunjatopi. Yuktasya Bhaktam. He engages the devotees. Niyunjita. Through him, through them, he gets all these activities done, which is cleaning of the temple, puja for the deities, decoration of the deities. So it's through him. We offer everything through the Guru Parampara to the divine couple and their associates. And we receive prasadam also through the Guru from the disciplic succession of the Lord. Therefore, when we are offering bhoga, the first prayer is to the Guru. So we say Sarvam Sri Krishna Arpanamastu, Sarvam Sri Rama Arpanamastu. It is meant for Sita and Ramachandra or Radha and Krishna. But the mood is I'm serving on my Guru's behalf. He is engaging me.
Yes, Prabhuji. Got it. Thank you.
Anything else? If during the week you have some reflection on these verses that we read about the glory of Lakshmana or associates, some messages that we heard, please, you have the Zoom, not Zoom, your WhatsApp group for sharing. When we share reflections, the message goes deeper and settles in the heart. Otherwise, it stays on the outer coverings of the mind. For it to enter further deeper, it has to be expressed back. You don't have to express it on the WhatsApp group, just express it to somebody. But if you express on the WhatsApp group, others will also benefit. Think of it that way. Say it back and make such big difference. Okay, anything else? Final few moments? Hare
Krishna Prabhu. I was just thinking when you said that we have just covered halfway through Sundarkanda and some hours of storyline which happened. I was just thinking how much meaning is there in like even small interactions of like great devotees. It's just unfathomable that little interactions carry like so much meaning. Like you were sharing why Sita Devi gave only the chudamani to Hanuman, and then like what would evoke in Lord Rama when he receives the chudamani, meaning it is like so like well thought, knowing the heart of like her beloved. She knows it very well, and then she is doing things in line with that. So it was just like amazing, meaning just to mm, mm, meaning know that there is so much one can offer when one is doing things from the heart and knowing the other person's feelings and emotions. So just wanted to share. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I didn't share a particular verse she says. I forgot. When she's giving the Chudamani to Hanumanji, she also says, remind Ramachandra of that episode when we were in Chitrakuta and I had painted my cheek with certain mineral, certain design on my cheek, because my tilak had, because we were in the water, we were playing, and my tilak had rubbed off. I took some mineral and painted my cheek. Actually, he painted my cheek with that mineral. Just let him know. And there is no commentary, no discussion, even after the acharyas don't necessarily say much, is because it's a very private and nothing's been revealed of it. It is just meant for Sita and Ramachandra, and Hanuman's just take that message. Even Lakshmana doesn't know about it. That one verse I somehow didn't see as we were reading through, but it's there too. As far as interactions with great personalities, Lavamatra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoye, is what Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami tells us. That with great personalities, Lavamatra. In the measurement of time, Lava is 1/12th of a second. That's the power.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, this is Nritya Gaurangadas.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, such a wonderful class again. Yeah.
No, it's Valmiki's
Thoroughly enjoyed.
great writing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm only reading the verses.
Yeah. So Prabhu, during the class,
Hare Krishna Prabhu, you can hear me?
Well, someone else is asking a question, Mataji. 1 second.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
So during the class, you're mentioning about a verse. You say that any obstacles you have in your life, either materially or spiritually, you said that by reciting the verse, it'll go away.
Yes.
Can I understand more of why so much importance is given to the verse and what is about it? Yeah.
It is spoken by Sita Devi. More importantly, if you look at it from a Leela perspective, she, who is the orchestrator of the entire Ramayana pastime, is empowering Hanuman with what is called Karya Siddhi. Whatever he does is always successful. Nothing ever is unsuccessful by Hanuman. There's no history of defeat or failure in what Hanuman does. Is come from this blessing. Tomasmin Karya Niryoge. That Hanumanji, if you bless me, all my activities and desires will be fulfilled. That is his purpose. He's made the most successful trip to recover Sita. He made the most successful trip to save Lakshmana's life. He made the most successful activities to in the Yuddha Kanda. This is a digression. In the Yuddha Kanda, when Ravana's son Indrajit has put Lakshmana into unconscious state, every other Vanara is pretty much either hurt, maimed, or dead, or unconscious. Everybody is now at the brink that they think that they're going to be defeated by Ravana's army. Vibhishana comes running to Jambavan, the most experienced and wise person on Ramachandra's army. And he says to Vibhishana, Jambavan says to Vibhishana, look around to see if Hanuman is alive. If Hanuman is alive, we will win this war. Otherwise, it's not possible. That is the power of Hanumanji. It's not that his power is separate from Ramachandra. The love, the attachment that he has for Ramachandra, that he is empowered to do anything and everything. Next week, we will hear Hanuman's words of his own humility. While this has his power, is completely mind-blowing, his humility. Tomasmin karya niryoge. That's the verse.
Thank you,
I'll
Prabhuji.
send,
Thank you
I'll
so
send
much.
that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, please. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Yeah.
final question. One Mataji was going to ask something and we cut her out. Sorry about that. Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Mine was almost similar thing. I was actually requesting you to share that verse with us. So
Yeah, I'll send it.
yeah, thank you, Prabhu. And it was a wonderful session. Really enjoyed it. And then about the Shubha Chudamani, the explanation given was really nice. Thank you, Prabhu. Really, thank you.
Oh,
Dhanyavad pranams.
the great acharyas have already spoken. We're just taking, the great art of copy and paste. It has saved me so many times. That's all I'm doing, copying and pasting.
But we are fortunate to get that. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. May you all have a wonderful rest of the week. Absorbed in the glory of Sri Lakshmana. Absorbed in the great words spoken by Sita Devi. Absorbed in the great activities of Hanumanji. And completely given our heart to that Lord Sri Ramachandra, who's the repository of all good qualities, great character, and most importantly, unending, deep, unfathomable compassion. The hope that we will receive it is what keeps us alive and going. Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman Ji ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada.